Well, if you have an upcoming flight out of the Golden Triangle Regional Airport, then you might see some changes that will add to your quality of flying. WTVA's Nick Perazzi was there earlier this afternoon where they unveiled a special guest was there for an unveiling. U.S. Senator Roger Wicker and Congressman Trent Kelly. Nick is live there tonight with how important this expansion is for the area. Nick.
It's not just about making the airport look pretty, but increasing the economic growth in North Mississippi. During the ribbon-cutting ceremony this afternoon, airport and local officials stressed the importance of expanding the airport, with geography of the airport being a key reason. The goal is to modernize the airport and allow local businessmen, travelers, and college sports fans to have a more convenient location to fly into. Instead of flying to Memphis, Jackson, or even Birmingham, the airport wants to promote the brand of GTR and make it accessible to everyone across the country. The $12 million expansion project came about because of both federal and state funding. The money is used to give the airport its first jet bridge, so you won't be boarding and unboarding outside on the ground as often. The airport now has escalators and elevators, as well as a hold room for the jet bridge on the second floor. This comes a year after the airport welcomed in American Airlines as its second tenant. GTR now has access to the country's two largest airports, and officials tell me they're still looking to grow and add new destinations.
It's something we're interested in, to offer more flights to more places. Thankfully now we can go east and we can go west on American Airlines. And then we have Delta Airlines, which is obviously going through Atlanta, which is the largest hub. Second behind that is Dallas. So we already have more options, but we're always trying to grow with those partners, have the facilities so they can expand their offerings here at the Golden Triangle Airport.
In attendance today for the ceremonial ribbon cutting was Senator Roger Wicker and Representative Trent Kelly, both which are enthusiastic about the expansion project. They say that having a state-of-the-art facility in the area is exceptional and will continue to bring in businessmen into the area. Representative Kelly said that the Golden Triangle is exploding with growth and that it will only add to that. Senator Wicker said this will attract more of the big businesses, which have some of those big bucks to go with it. You can hear more about what Senator Wicker and what Representative Kelly had to say tonight on WTVA 9 News at 10. Live at Golden Triangle Regional Airport, I'm Nick Perazzi, WTVA 9 News.